Have you noticed a strange smell on yourself lately? What if it's your body trying to warn you about something serious, something you can't afford to ignore? The truth is, as we get older, our bodies change in ways we might not expect. Some of those changes are normal. A few extra aches, slower mornings, but other changes, they're like flashing red lights, warnings that something deeper might be going wrong inside us. And one of the clearest signs, if we pay attention, comes from our own body odors. I didn't always know this. I used to think a little smell here and there was just part of life, part of getting older. Maybe you think that too. But years ago, something happened that opened my eyes. I was visiting my brother Earl. He's older than me, always the tough one in the family. We were sitting on his porch having coffee. I noticed something strange. His breath smelled sweet. Not just morning breath sweet. It was almost like he'd been sucking on a piece of candy. I teased him, said, "What, you eating lollipops behind my back now?" He laughed it off, said he hadn't had anything but coffee. But the smell stayed. It bothered me, made me uneasy in a way I couldn't explain. 2 weeks later, Earl collapsed in his kitchen. Diagnosis: uncontrolled diabetes. His blood sugar was sky high. The doctors told him that fruity breath was an early warning sign, one that, if we'd caught it sooner, might have saved him a hospital stay. That stuck with me. Since then, I've paid close attention to my own body, and I want to help you do the same. Today, we're going to talk about 7 strange smells that could mean serious trouble after 70. Some of them are easy to miss. Some are right under your nose, literally. If you stay with me through this video, I promise you'll walk away with the power to catch these warning signs early. Maybe even save your own life or the life of someone you love. Let's dive right in. The first one might surprise you. 1. Fruity or sweet breath. You might think fruity breath sounds pleasant. I did too. Like maybe it's a good thing, better than garlic, right? But in truth, fruity breath can be a red flag, especially in older adults. When your body can't use sugar properly, it starts breaking down fat instead. That process releases chemicals called ketones, which smell sweet. It's often one of the first signs of uncontrolled diabetes or a dangerous condition called diabetic ketoacidosis. I remember Earl's breath clearly. It wasn't gross. It was sweet, almost like overripe fruit. And that's what made it so easy to dismiss. If you ever notice your own breath smelling strangely sweet, or if a loved one mentions it, don't ignore it. Especially if it's paired with extreme thirst, fatigue, or blurry vision. Get your blood sugar checked. It's a simple test, could save your life. Now the second strange smell. This one is even closer to home. 2. Strong smell from the nose or mouth. This smell is different. It's not sweet. It's foul, strong. Sometimes people describe it like rotting garbage or spoiled meat, and it's often the first sign you have a serious infection. It could be a sinus infection, bacteria trapped in the sinuses causing bad breath that no amount of mouthwash can fix. Or, in some cases, it can point to something much more serious: lung infections. Even kidney problems where the body can't filter waste properly anymore. When I worked at the church food pantry years back, we had an older volunteer, lovely woman named Ruth. One afternoon, I caught a strong smell when she talked. Not just bad breath, something deeper, like metal and decay. She brushed it off, said she'd eaten onions. But 2 weeks later, she ended up hospitalized with a severe lung infection she didn't know she had. Here's the thing. If you or someone you love has persistent, severe bad breath, especially with no obvious cause, get checked. It's not about embarrassment. It's about protecting your life. If you're finding this information helpful so far, I want to ask you a small favor. Please hit that like button and subscribe to Glowing Age. It helps us reach more seniors like you who deserve to live healthier, stronger lives. Thank you for being part of our community. Now, let's keep going. Because the next smell is one most folks overlook completely. 3. Musty or moldy body odor. Now, I'm not talking about a little sweat after mowing the lawn. I'm talking about a deeper, musty smell, like wet newspaper or a damp basement. If you notice that kind of odor, especially if it clings to your clothes or bedding, it could mean something's not right inside your body. One cause: liver problems. The liver's job is to filter toxins. If it isn't doing that properly, those toxins can build up, sometimes causing changes in your body odor. It can also be a sign of fungal infections, especially in the folds of skin where moisture collects. I remember a neighbor named Joe, always cheerful, always shaking hands. One summer, I noticed he had a strong, musty smell, even after showering. Turned out he had a fungal infection under his arms and belly folds he hadn't caught in time. It spread into his bloodstream and made him very sick. If you notice a musty smell that won't go away, don't ignore it. Check your skin. Check with your doctor. Better safe than sorry. Now let's move on to number 4. 4. Fishy smell from skin or urine. This one's unpleasant, no way around it. A strong, fishy smell coming from your skin, breath, or urine could point to serious trouble with your kidneys. When the kidneys start to fail, waste products build up in the blood. That can create a strong, fishy odor that's hard to miss. There's also a rare genetic disorder called trimethylaminuria, but that usually shows up earlier in life. In seniors, a sudden fishy smell almost always points to kidney trouble. If you notice this smell, especially if you also feel swollen, tired, or short of breath, get checked right away. When kidneys go bad, time matters. I'll never forget my Uncle Leon. Tough old guy, drove a truck until he was 75. He thought his swollen ankles were just old man problems. They weren't, they were kidney failure creeping up on him. He said later he wished he'd listened to the weird smell he noticed months earlier. Don't be like Uncle Leon. Trust your nose. Now the next smell is one a lot of folks mistake for something harmless. And it could cost them dearly. Stick with me, we're getting into the real life-saving stuff now. Sometimes the smallest clues are the ones that save your life. And the smell we're about to talk about is one of the sneakiest. 5. Ammonia-like smell in urine. You might notice it when you're using the bathroom. A sharp chemical smell, almost like a cat litter box or cleaning fluid. That's not something to brush off. An ammonia-like smell can mean your body is dehydrated. But in seniors, it can also point to a urinary tract infection, a UTI, or early signs of kidney disease. UTIs are tricky in folks our age. They don't always come with the burning or urgency we expect. Sometimes the only sign is a funny smell. I'll never forget a good friend of mine, Martha. She kept mentioning that something smelled funny when she went to the bathroom. She figured it was nothing, just part of getting older. A month later, she ended up in the hospital with a severe kidney infection. They traced it back to a UTI that had gone untreated. Don't wait that long. If you notice a strong, unusual smell, especially ammonia, talk to your doctor. A simple urine test can catch a lot early on. And if you're not drinking enough water, fix that today. Hydration is one of the simplest, cheapest ways to protect your health. Now, what about this next smell? It's one that's often blamed on food, but sometimes it's a sign of something much more serious. 6. Rotten eggs or sulfur-like breath. You know the smell of boiled eggs, that sharp sulfur scent? If you notice your breath smelling like that, especially if it's persistent, it could be a sign of digestive problems. Sometimes it's just minor, like indigestion or acid reflux. But other times it can be a warning of something deeper, problems like GERD, ulcers, or infections in the stomach. My cousin Darlene used to joke that she had dragon breath after certain meals. But when it started happening all the time, even without spicy food, she knew something was wrong. Turned out she had a stomach ulcer that needed treatment. And here's something you might not know. Chronic acid reflux can also raise your risk of esophageal cancer if left untreated. If your breath smells like sulfur and you have heartburn, nausea, or trouble swallowing, don't guess. Get it checked out. It could be nothing, or it could be something you're glad you caught early. Now the last smell on our list is one many people laugh off, but it could be a quiet whisper from your body asking for help. 7. Unusual foot odor. Everyone's feet smell sometimes. We all know that. But if your foot odor suddenly changes, becomes sour, strong, or different from your usual, pay attention. Why? Because it can point to circulation problems, diabetes, or fungal infections like athlete's foot. When blood flow to the feet is poor, wounds heal slower. Infections grow faster. And odor can be one of the first signs before anything looks wrong. I had a friend, Paul, who ignored a funny smell coming from his right foot. Figured it was just his old shoes. By the time he got it checked, he had a diabetic foot ulcer he didn't even feel forming. He needed months of treatment and nearly lost his foot. If you notice new, persistent foot odor, especially along with numbness, tingling, or swelling, get it checked. Feet might seem like a small thing, but when it comes to your health, small things can turn into big problems fast. Let's quickly recap what we've learned so far. If you're over 70 and you notice any of these smells: sweet, fruity breath, foul smell from nose or mouth, musty or moldy body odor, fishy smell from skin or urine, ammonia smell in urine, rotten egg or sulfur breath, unusual foot odor, your body might be sending you a warning. And here's the best part: you're not powerless. The earlier you notice, the easier it is to fix. A simple checkup, a quick conversation with your doctor, a few easy tests. It could make all the difference between catching something early and facing bigger problems later. Because you deserve more than just surviving these years. You deserve to thrive, to enjoy them, to live fully and freely. And part of that is listening to the little signals your body sends. I'm proud of you for staying with me today. Not everyone takes the time to learn these things. You're showing wisdom, you're showing heart. And you're proving that no matter what age we are, we can always take steps to protect our health. Before I share some final tips on staying ahead of these warning signs, I'd love if you could like this video and subscribe to Glowing Age. We're building a special community here, a family that believes aging can be powerful, beautiful, and wise. Stick around, the best is yet to come. Now let's shift gears for a moment. You might be wondering, what can I actually do today to protect myself? Knowing the smells is powerful, but taking action is where real change happens. I'm going to share a few simple habits that helped me, my family, and many folks I've known through the years. First, know you're normal. Spend a few minutes once a week just being mindful. Notice your body, your skin, your breath, your feet, your energy. It sounds simple, but when you know what's normal for you, it becomes much easier to spot when something isn't right. I used to rush through my mornings. Quick shave, quick breakfast, out the door. Never gave my body a second thought. It wasn't until I slowed down that I caught a few small problems before they turned into big ones. You don't have to be obsessed. Just be aware. Think of it like checking the oil in your car. Quick, easy, and saves you from a breakdown later. Second, hydrate like it's your job. I know you've heard it 1,000 times. Drink more water. But here's the thing, as we get older, our thirst signals get weaker. We don't feel thirsty even when we're running dry. And dehydration can lead to stronger body odors, kidney strain, and confusion. I set reminders on my phone every 2 hours, just a little chime. Time to sip, nothing fancy. Just steady, gentle hydration. And it's made a world of difference in my skin, my energy, even my sleep. Third, keep your mouth healthy. Your mouth is like a window into the rest of your body. Bad breath, bleeding gums, dry mouth, these can all be early signs of bigger health problems. Visit the dentist at least once a year. Keep floss by your favorite chair. Swish with a gentle mouthwash after meals. It's not about vanity. It's about staying ahead of the curve. Fourth, move your body, even if it's just a walk to the mailbox and back. Movement keeps your blood flowing, your lungs working, your skin breathing. When you move, you help your body detox naturally, sweating out waste, keeping circulation strong. When we sit too long, everything slows down, waste builds up, smells change. A little movement each day goes a long, long way. Fifth, trust your instincts. If something smells off, feels off, seems different, trust yourself. You've lived long enough to know when something isn't right. Don't let pride or fear stop you from checking it out. I'd rather go to the doctor and hear everything looks fine 100 times than miss the one time something needed urgent care. Sixth, build a support circle. Talk to family, friends, neighbors. Share what you're learning. Sometimes we notice things in others before they notice it themselves. And having people you trust who will gently point out if something seems different, that's a gift. We're not meant to walk this path alone. And finally, be kind to yourself. Our bodies change. That's part of the deal. Not every ache, every smell, every symptom means disaster. But when you treat yourself with curiosity instead of fear, kindness instead of shame, you give yourself the best chance to live fully and joyfully. That's what I want for you, not just more years, but better years. Richer, deeper, freer years. Before we wrap up, let me leave you with one small exercise. After this video ends, I want you to take 5 minutes. Sit quietly. Breathe deeply. Pay gentle attention to your body. Notice your breath, your skin, your energy, no judgment, just awareness. That 5 minutes could be the start of a whole new chapter for you. Because when we listen to our bodies with respect and patience, they tell us what they need. And when we answer with care, we thrive. If you found even one helpful idea, please like this video and subscribe to Glowing Age. We're building something special here, a family of wisdom seekers, lifelong learners, and joyful agers. And you, my friend, are a treasured part of it. Stay with me, because in the next part, we'll talk about the real power you have to protect yourself every single day, even with the smallest choices. You know, when I first started paying attention to these small signs, it was overwhelming. At first, it felt like every little thing could be a warning. A strange smell here, a new ache there. But then I realized something important. Awareness doesn't have to create fear. It creates freedom. When you know what to watch for, you can take action early. You can stay ahead of problems, not chase after them. That's real power, especially as we get older. Because every small choice we make adds up. It's like putting pennies in a jar. One by one, they don't seem like much. But after a while, you look back and realize you've built something valuable, something strong. Your health is like that. A little more water each day, a little more movement, a little more listening to your body's whispers. And suddenly, you're not just surviving, you're thriving. Now, let's talk about what you can do next if you notice something concerning. Step 1, write it down. Don't trust your memory, write it down. Make a simple note of what you noticed. The smell, when it started. Anything else you're feeling, tiredness, swelling, thirst, pain. That way, when you talk to your doctor, you have clear information. Doctors love specifics. It helps them help you faster. Step 2, make an appointment. Don't wait 6 months hoping it will go away. Pick up the phone. Call your primary care doctor. Or if it's urgent, like sudden sweet breath with confusion or strong kidney smells, go to urgent care. There's no prize for toughing it out. The real prize is staying well. Step 3, bring an advocate. If you're worried about remembering what the doctor says, bring someone with you. A son, a daughter, a neighbor, a friend. 2 sets of ears are better than one, and having someone else hear what the doctor recommends can help you stick to the plan afterward. Step 4, follow through. If they recommend a test, schedule it. If they prescribe medicine, take it. If they suggest changes to your routine, give it a real try. Half the battle is showing up. The other half is following through. And remember, you're not doing this because you're weak. You're doing it because you're strong enough to care for yourself. Strong enough to believe your life is worth protecting. Because it is. Every day you wake up is a gift. A chance to live a little deeper. Laugh a little louder, love a little stronger. And the healthier you are, the more of those days you get. Let me share one last story with you today. There was a man in my old church, Bill. Quiet guy, always sat in the back pew. Wore the same blue jacket every Sunday. One day I noticed he seemed tired, thinner. His skin looked a little yellow. I mentioned it to him after service, just gently. He shrugged it off, said he felt fine. But a week later, he went to his doctor. Turned out he had early-stage liver trouble. Because they caught it early, he got treatment. Changed his diet, started walking every day. Today, he's still at that church, smiling bigger than ever. All because someone cared enough to notice. And he cared enough to act. That's the power we have. Not to change everything overnight, but to notice, to act, to live. You have that power too. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Thank you for caring enough about yourself to learn, to listen, to be here. If this video gave you something useful, if it sparked a thought, a memory, or a commitment, I hope you'll like it, subscribe to Glowing Age, and share it with someone you care about. Together, we're building a community where aging is not a burden, it's a badge of honor. Until next time, keep shining bright. You're a light in this world, and we're better for having you here. You know, it's funny how life teaches us lessons when we least expect it. Sometimes it's a smell that lingers longer than it should. Sometimes it's a glance in the mirror that tells us something isn't right. And sometimes it's a quiet moment of reflection that opens our eyes to what needs attention. What matters most is not whether these lessons come softly or loudly. What matters is that we listen. I've always believed that wisdom isn't about knowing everything. It's about noticing, about being willing to stop, look closer, and ask ourselves, what is my body trying to tell me? And when you get good at listening to those quiet signals, life gets better. Not just longer, better. You breathe easier, sleep deeper, smile wider. You start trusting yourself again. And that trust, my friend, is priceless. Let's talk about small victories. Because when it comes to aging well, small victories are everything. Maybe today your small victory is drinking an extra glass of water. Maybe it's taking a walk even when you didn't feel like it. Maybe it's calling the doctor about that little worry instead of pushing it aside. Every small step matters. Every good choice stacks on top of the last one, building a life you can feel proud of. It's like planting seeds. You might not see the fruit right away, but one day you'll sit under the shade of trees you planted years ago, and you'll be so glad you did. I want you to remember this too. You are not a burden. You are not a problem to be managed. You are a story still being written, a song still being sung. Your life, every moment of it, is valuable, and the way you care for yourself today shapes the story you get to live tomorrow. If you take away just one thing from this video, let it be this: your body speaks to you every day. Through smells, through sensations, through feelings. It's not trying to scare you, it's trying to protect you. Your body is your oldest, truest friend. Treat it with the kindness and respect it deserves, and it will carry you through many beautiful years ahead. Before we close, I want to say something from my heart. Thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing to keep learning, growing, and caring, even when it's hard, even when the world doesn't always make it easy. It takes real courage to face the truth about aging and to do it with grace. You have that courage. And if no one else has told you today, let me be the first. I'm proud of you. If you found comfort or strength in these words, please like this video, subscribe to Glowing Age, and share it with someone who could use a little encouragement today. Together, we're building a movement that says aging isn't about fading away. It's about shining brighter. Until next time, my friend, keep noticing, keep trusting, and above all, keep living with your whole heart. You're doing better than you think. As we wrap up our time together today, I want to leave you with something simple but powerful. A reminder that life is made up of tiny moments. The quiet minutes when you listen to your body instead of rushing past it. The thoughtful seconds when you choose a glass of water over another cup of coffee. The brave moments when you call your doctor instead of putting it off. And the tender moments when you give yourself permission to rest, to heal, to care. It's not the grand gestures that keep us strong as we age. It's the small, steady choices we make day after day. Choosing to pay attention. Choosing to act with love toward ourselves. Choosing to believe that our best days are still ahead of us. Because they are. You have more smiles to share, more laughter to spread, more wisdom to pass down, more memories to make. And it all starts with caring enough to listen when your body whispers, "Pay attention." So today I honor you. I honor your courage to show up, your willingness to learn, your heart that refuses to quit. Because growing older isn't about giving up. It's about becoming more thoughtful, more grateful, more beautifully, unapologetically alive. If today's video touched you, if it sparked even a small change in the way you see yourself, please consider sharing it with someone you care about. Leave a comment below, tell me what small step you're planning to take today. I would love to cheer you on, and if you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe to Glowing Age, because this is just the beginning. We have so much more to learn together, more stories to share, more ways to make these golden years truly shine. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being part of this community. Until next time, keep listening to your body, keep loving yourself fiercely, and keep shining your light. The world is better because you're in it. I'll see you soon.